Well, now I'd like to go to Chris Blackmar. Chris contacted me now, I guess it's going on several months ago, with his idea for a show for Saturday that he wanted to do. And we've talked about it and tried to structure it, I think, where it's going to be very interesting. And I've recorded a lead-in to the show that Chris is going to be moderating. And I'd like to, for Phil, if you'll run that for me. Welcome to New Tracks Workshop. My name is Jim Kello. I'm the creator and host for New Tracks, where mentors help modelers build. Thanks so much for coming. I hope you come back often and tell your friends about our show. These Saturday workshops are a new project for New Tracks. They've resulted from comments I've received from modelers about scratch building and Chris Blackmar's interest in producing and leading this effort. The segments are structured like the popular build-along segments on our Wednesday evening shows, except these Saturday shows are designed to show modelers how to scratch build a model. I personally believe that scratch building is one of the most creative parts of model railroading, and I think you'll agree if you try it. Here is your opportunity to work with some skilled modelers to learn how to do it. You will learn the steps, the skills, the techniques involved in scratch building a model in any scale you want. There are no kits to buy, only the needed scratch building supplies. The plans that will be used for the model, you can download on your computer at no cost. The show's moderator, Chris Blackmar, is a very talented and artistic modeler, and he and his guest will guide you through the complete scratch building process, one small step at a time. After all, that's what mentoring is all about. If you're a beginner, I hope you'll join in and experience the thrill of completing a scratch-built model and being able to stand back and say, I built that. If you're a more experienced or advanced modeler, I hope you'll join in and offer your advice and knowledge to less skilled modelers and even get some fresh ideas yourself. The live shows will, of course, be recorded on our YouTube channel, so you can refer to the information later if you need to. In addition, I hope you'll visit our website, newtracksmodeling.com, and subscribe. You'll need to confirm the email that you received to verify your address. And after that, you'll receive all of the notice of our future shows, as well as the login links to attend. If you would prefer to watch the series on YouTube, you can do that by going to our channel, New Tracks Modeling, ring the bell, and click all. Therefore, you'll get all of the notice for the start of all of our future shows on the channel. If you can spare a little time, I hope you'll consider joining our management team to help us plan and produce any of our future shows. Please contact me at Jim Kello at newtracksmodeling.com, and let's discuss your interest. So welcome to the New Tracks Workshop. I look forward to seeing your finished models and, of course, hearing any suggestions for future shows you may have. Now, here is Chris Blackmar to start your scratch building journey. And Chris, I will turn it over to you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, Jim. I guess the introduction there kind of says an awful lot about what this is all about. I've been modeling for a better part of my life, and I've always been interested in things like weathering, going way back when I was in the early 60s, when I got in trouble for having an ashtray in my bedroom because I was weathering my models with it when I was in like second or third grade. Couldn't convince my mom that I wasn't smoking. Anyway, I have spent the past 4 or 5 years actually really focused on studying the techniques and things that we can introduce into our hobby from some of our fellow hobbyists over in the things like the military group, the modelers that are doing the fantasy modeling, the war gamers that are doing the military modeling, and even the folks that are doing some of the things like horses and some of these other models. They are all have techniques, particularly the fantasy group and the military modelers, that really blend into what we're doing. And for a long time, those two groups have been way ahead of us out on the curve. So I'm going to be taking a lot of the information from that group and bringing it in to the workshop. And so instead of just letting paint dry as we're talking there, we'll go into some of the properties of your paints and things like that. I also have access to a lot of information about the pastels, which are not chalks, and we'll go through the differences of between chalks and pastels and weathering powders. But the thing is that I live with an artist who has a lot of information on pastels. She's a pastelist. And over the past 5 years, I've really learned a whole lot about pastels in detail. And I'll be passing that information along to you, how to better use specific brands of specific pastels to generate the type of results that we're really after. I'm also looking forward to having people that you may not be just doing your scratch building, but if you're building a kit or something and you have a couple hours and Saturday morning during that time frame, dial in and maybe you can bring up some ideas, techniques, and things to others, as well as pick up a few yourself. I don't want to be the only person here moderating it. And so I'm really kicking the doors open and just trying to make this a place where you can kind of dial in and follow along in the modeling. If you don't know how to scratch build, we'll start from, ground zero from the desktop, and we'll go all the way through the details. And hopefully you'll find something more than just watching the paint dry during all of this. As Jim said, I'm going to try to keep this all on the cheap, so I will not be getting into in-depth and detail with airbrushes and drill presses and things like this. I'm going to keep it to the basics, but we will build on the basics and get into advanced techniques so that you can understand where you might want to use a enamel wash versus a pastel wash versus a oil wash, or use an acrylic. So all I can say is I look forward to having as many folks as possible join us on that Saturday, and we'll just kick it off and roll from there.